My name is Brittany Bear, and I studied abroad with API in Granada, Spain for the spring of 2009. And I was a peer advisor during the semester, well, I suppose it was my entire senior year, 2009, 2010. And I'm currently a program manager for Academic Programs International, API.
Currently, I am sitting in a plaza in Madrid because I am teaching English in Madrid for the next school year. Working with API showed me how much I really needed to get into international education and how much I really love working with different cultures. So I'm teaching English right now in Madrid. I could do that for the next year or so. I just took a test to join the US government as a diplomat who would work in a different country every 3 years.
I really needed an internship. I was a Spanish and Communication Studies double major, and I really felt strongly that I needed that kind of professional experience before graduating. It wasn't a requirement at the time for my university, but it was something I really felt strongly that I wanted to do. So when the experience of studying abroad turned into an opportunity to do an internship, I thought, well, gosh, that makes a lot of sense, and it fit perfectly with my major. And I read the description. I thought, my gosh, this is seems like a great fit, and so I went for it.
I applied to an API alumni program for two main reasons. One, I studied abroad twice, once in Italy and once in Spain, and I completely just fell in love with the idea of study abroad, of taking classes in another country, practicing a language, meeting with new cultures, new locals. So I really just became a big advocate for study abroad. I really saw no excuse why no student should not study abroad during college, so it made sense to apply for the program.
Well, for one thing, I don't think I fully understood how much it would help me transition from my study abroad experience into college life again. And once I got into it, I realized, man, this was a perfect fit because I studied abroad in the spring. I came back for the summer, jumped again into, the campus world in the fall for my senior year, and was able to hit the ground running talking about what I had just experienced, which was fantastic. It gave me a great outlet to be able to express to other students what I had just recently learned and experienced overseas, both to help them as they prepared for their own study abroad experiences, but also as a way of helping myself in, process a lot of what I had learned and start to assimilate it. I was able to work with the study abroad office and give back in that way. So it really benefited me on that level a lot more than I think I would have anticipated beforehand. It also expanded my network professionally and personally, so it gave me contacts with other peer advisors who were all across the U.S., not to mention a network of professionals who are already in the field of international education, namely through API. And that was a huge benefit too, especially as a senior, thinking about graduation, not sure what I was going to do. Like a lot of seniors out there, I really didn't have a clear sense of direction, but I automatically had this neat network that I could benefit from. And then on top of it, I was given insight into the field of international education, which prior to studying abroad and prior to doing the internship with API, I had not really considered in detail. And so this was a really great introduction to a professional field that I could consider upon graduation.
One of the main benefits I got out of being part of the API alumni program was that I just got to talk to kids about study abroad, which for me was a very gratifying job and opportunity because people would get so happy getting ready to study abroad, and when they return from studying abroad, they really love the experience. So just being able to help other kids study abroad, that meant a lot to me. And then secondly, working with API and the alumni program, it showed me how much I really am into international education as a field, which I didn't necessarily know before. I knew I loved study abroad, but not necessarily international education as a whole. And now, I'm teaching English in Madrid as we speak. I'm in a plaza in Madrid right now. It really showed me, working with API, that this is something I really enjoy doing and I could do it for a long time. It gave me an insight into the field and it gave me a direction with my career. So
I was one of the fortunate few to go directly from being an API peer mentor to actually getting to be an intern in the Student Services Department at API. The opportunity came up toward the end of my senior year, and again, it seemed like a great fit. I was thrilled. Never really saw myself going that direction, and yet it was amazing how one thing led to another. First studying abroad, then doing the or the peer mentor internship, and then becoming an intern in student services department. And that eventually turned into what I'm currently doing, and that is managing programs. So I manage our Seville, Madrid, and Costa Rica programs now. And I love it because I get to be on the other side of the coin. I studied abroad with API. I remember what it was like to be in the office as a student, eager to learn and eager to dive into life there and being able to benefit from the resources that API provided. And now I get to be on the other side, helping students prepare for their experience, helping them process both their paperwork, but also, emotionally and mentally as they are preparing for life overseas. And so I love it because to me it's as though everything has come full circle, and I get to be able to invest in students the way that API had originally invested in me.
Working with API did affect my personal and career trajectory a pretty good amount. Working with API showed me that internationalism, international relations, meeting new cultures, meeting new locals, that's what I am looking for in my life. And I think I knew that before, but working with API really clarified that for me.